If you're looking to grow a social media audience, this one decision could completely sabotage all of your success. Choosing the wrong audience could be the one single reason that your channel is not growing. And today I'm going to walk you through some of the frameworks that I think through when I'm looking at starting a new channel or helping people who've already started one. The first thing I like to look at is I like to look at niche versus broad content strategies. Because I think a ton of people get caught up on, do I need to go super wide or do I need to provide a ton of value? Well, you can do either one. The thing is that you have to pick one. So we can delineate this if we decide to separate it out by size to value. And what we're looking for is looking to see the size of the audience compared to the value that we can provide them. Niche content is based completely off of the idea that you can serve a very narrow audience, but you can provide them a ton of value. Whereas with more broad content strategies, you have a much larger audience, but you provide them not as much value, usually just entertainment. So the way I like to look at this is that broad strategies will make you famous. Niche strategies will make you rich. Now that's not to absolutely say that you don't only get one of them. If you go with niche, you will develop a smaller but a super loyal audience to you. And obviously if you have a massive audience, well, there's also some money to be made in that too. But I think that before you start making content and coming up with ideas, this is the first thing that everybody needs to sort out. Because if you get this wrong, you could be trying to do broad strategies to a niche audience, and then you kind of get stuck in this mediocre middle. And the way that this usually gets evened out is that this one here on the left usually is the strategy that business owners go with. And the broad strategy is more of a creator focused plan. So before you start anything, you want to figure out which one of these camps do I want to be in. Both of them work. Both of them have proven to be successful, but the problems you have to solve with niche compared to broad, drastically different. So let's dive a little bit deeper into each of them, shall we? So when we're looking at broad content, I prefer to look at some of the creators who have maximized their ability to create in a broad space. And if you look at some of the top guys, you look at your Mark Rober, you look at Mr. Beast, you look at the Ryan Trahans, you look at anybody who's really crushing it at the top, you'll notice that there's one common theme that they seem to stick to. One of the things that I've noticed these guys do is that they make content that an 8-year-old and an 80-year-old can both kind of get behind and understand. So if you look at something like Mr. Beast's Last to Leave Circle videos, those are really simple ideas that pretty much anybody can get behind. An 8-year-old and an 80-year-old. And the reason this is so important is because of how these platforms actually serve out content. When you start uploading a video, you have this super small and niche community. This is like your core sub audience. If your core audience likes it, then the platform goes a little bit colder to a little bit more of a broad audience to see, okay, do they like it still? They like it, then it goes a little bit broader and a little bit broader and a little bit broader until eventually you get to an audience that is so cold that nobody is engaging with your video, and then it stops getting served. And so using the strategy of 8-year-old and an 80-year-old means that you can get as far away from your center point audience as humanly possible. And if you look at this through the lens of a more niche type of creator like me, I may be able to get wins here, and here, but I may lose the audience's desire a little bit earlier in the process because my content is niche and doesn't apply to everybody. Now, on the flip side of this, let's take a look at niche content. Niche content is actually much less about going and getting the largest audience, and it's more so deciding, okay, who is the one type of person that I want to go and serve? And so some of the questions that I like to ask for these are, what problems do these type of people have? How old are these people? What are their dreams? What are their goals, right? Maybe I can get even focused in as to where are they located. So niche content has nothing to do with getting the largest audience, but it's how can I figure out who I want to serve and how do I make the content that is the most valuable to that one specific person, right? And let's say, for example, that I am a fitness person, and let's say that the people that I want to serve are 18 to 24 years old, right? The problem they want to solve is that they want to lose weight. Maybe the problem that they have is that they overeat. And let's say that I know that they're in Houston, Texas. Now that I have this profile, it is way easier for me to figure out, okay, well, what content can I make that would be valuable for this person? If I want to check this out, I could go and I could make videos about diet. I could make videos about nutrition. I could make content about specific workouts that work best for that type of client. So you can start to see where like having a really clear idea of who your person is that you're going to serve makes it actually way easier to come up with ideas that are actually going to be helpful to them. Here's a little nugget of game for you. I'm going to put you on real quick, is that these type of audiences are actually a lot easier to sell things to when you go to do sponsorships or if you decide to sell a product of your own. So for example, I can look at somebody who's going through these and I'm like, okay, well, once say that somebody gets the goal of losing weight, well, what are some of the problems that they're going to have that come after that? Maybe their clothes won't fit anymore, so maybe they need like somebody who can help them like style and design and like do that kind of stuff because they've lost all this weight. Maybe they haven't lost the weight yet, but if they had something like tracking in their routine where they're tracking their calories, tracking their workouts, tracking the water intake, right? Maybe that's something that could be more helpful. And so as you understand this more niche audience, you understand what problems they have, what solutions you can offer them. And so if you're going to do brand deals or you're going to make a product and actually sell it to them, this is 100% the way to go. Now, there's obviously so much to this that I wouldn't be able to to break down all the way through in a video like this. So if you are seeing this on YouTube or you're seeing this inside of a school community, drop a comment below. I'll be in there kind of answering questions and getting more into the nitty-gritty to help you actually go and implement this into your content strategy.